Hi guys, this is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm here again with my scraps that we had been working on in a previous video. Now I have to say, I had tried to make one of those matchbox, book things with this. I've obviously mucked this up completely. I did have a very tiny slither there, so I had my doubts in the first place, but yeah, I can't now get it to tuck in, and I've tried kind of tearing it a little bit, but yeah, I think I'm just kind of mucking it up, to be honest. So, mucking it up even more than I've mucked it up already. So I don't think it's going to work, because by the time I've peeled this up, you can see what's happening is it's now just stuck upwards. It's, not particularly working brilliantly, although actually now it seems, oh, perhaps it will be okay. I don't know. It's not ideal, but actually maybe it will be, okay. Okay, right. So please ignore that little waffle. I don't know. Yeah, just ignore that. So we've got obviously these bits that are left that we didn't get round to finishing yesterday, or in the previous video. So I thought we'd just come along and make a couple of clusters and then finish off all these bits and pieces. So this one here, obviously my matchbox book, I mean, I'm just thinking kind of put some lace down on that edge. I'm probably going to, I was going to say staple it, but actually maybe that would be the wrong thing to do. Oh gosh. Right, it's going to be one of those ridiculous days, I'm afraid. So already the start of the video, it's ridiculous. So it doesn't really bode well for the rest, does it? Not really. Okay, let's try and get a bit more in the zone. Right, I'm just going to stick this lace on, but I think what I'll do is ink the lace up first so it's a bit darker. It's just ivory lace, but yeah, whoops, I'd probably prefer it looking a bit darker, I think. So let's just ink that up. Okay, so that looks quite nice. Let's just get my Fabri-Tac. I'm just going to glue that on here down this side. Okay. So I hope everyone's having a good day, doing some crafting, working on some nice projects. Maybe you are also trying to kind of use up some scraps and things that you've already, semi-worked on. And yeah. Let me know below, what have you made from your scraps? I'm sure you've probably all made some lovely things. Right, I've got my matchbox. Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying that for. I've got these ladies. I'm still obviously thinking about the disaster of a matchbox flip book. I've got these vintage ladies that are from my shop. These are quite small. These are a 4-page download. You get kind of 2 pages of really small to make things like faux postage stamps, and then you get this size, which they're not as small, but they're still quite small. So I'm just going to ink this up. I've cut it with the edge so it's got a bit of interest going on there, like that. Okay, so that looks quite nice, doesn't it? And I'm just going to actually just rough this up a bit, and then I'll have to ink it again, because I do really like just, having that bit of extra texture, to be honest. I know this isn't really everybody's cup of tea, but I quite like it. Okay. Yeah, like that. Because this has been coffee dyed, so I feel like this looks quite grungy already. So I feel like it needs, a reasonably grungy kind of look to it. I'm just going to put in some book page and see about backing it onto some book page. Unfortunately, this isn't the most texty of pages. So okay, let's just glue this down on here. I did actually remember my clean wipe, so that was something, because, you know, normally I'm pretty rubbish at remembering to bring that as well. Okay, right, let's just try and maybe just tear this down, to be honest. I want it looking quite scraggedy. I don't want it looking too uniform at all. So, you know. Never very good at tearing book page when, you know, if you haven't kind of like folded it over or anything. It's hard to get it looking anything other than, you know, as someone once said in a comment, that when she tries to tear things, sometimes they just look like mouse, you know, or mice bites all the way down the side. Yeah, that is sometimes how mine looks too, so I know exactly what you mean. It's hard to tear things, you know, particularly when there's not too much to grab. It does kind of end up with that slight mouse, you know, or mice bite type effect. Okay, so that looks quite nice, doesn't it? Let's just glue that down. Okay. Like that. Just slide that under a bit. Not too much, but just, yeah, just a bit. Okay. And then maybe have a butterfly or something, I'm thinking. So let's just have a look. Don't know whether I'll have any that are quite the right colour. But we'll just have a look. This pink one, I wonder whether if I ink this up, whether it would look toned down enough or whether it's still going to be quite bright. Let's see. Oh, it's a bit chilly today, I must say. I'm sat here at the moment with wet hair. I haven't dried my hair yet. So, you know, I washed it this morning. I haven't dried it yet. So it's kind of, it's not actually dripping down my back. But, you know, of course, it's not helping me to feel any warmer. It's got to be said. So, yeah, I should have probably dried my hair before doing the video. Right, let's just have a look. Got some bling, obviously, here. And just wondering about if I put the bling in the middle of the butterfly, and that will kind of disguise, because you can still see quite a bright pink, you know, line down on that butterfly. But by just putting some bling on there, it's just going to cover that up quite nicely. So yeah, let's just cut that down. Okay. Yay. Okie dokie. Right. That looks quite pretty, doesn't it? And we've no longer got that bright pink on show at all. It's covered up nicely by that bling. So yeah, that looks really pretty now. Do we need anything else on there? Could just quickly have this rose, I guess, maybe somewhere. What do we think? Wonder how much in the way that rose would be. Because it looks quite pretty on that, on the flap, doesn't it? Let's have it on there. Okay. Okay, right, looking good. So just need to be careful I don't actually glue that down onto the other bit. Okay. Yeah, that looks pretty and it's all ready to now be used. So put that to one side. Right, next piece we have got this one, which I'm thinking kind of a fold down flip, you know, a flip down, let's call it. So again, let's just think, what do we want on here? I'm thinking maybe some lace across here, so let's just pull in some lace. Oh, I just made a horrible job of tearing this, I must say, which was why in the end I resorted to cutting it, because the tearing was just not going well at all. Oops, sorry, I just pulled some napkin in by accident. Honestly, there's so much rubbish floating around on my desk, everything just gets pulled in. Okay, let's ink this up. Again, just, you know, because this has been coffee dyed, you know, the page has been coffee dyed, so I feel like the lace looks a little bit too kind of clean. A bit too clean to use on there, so yeah, let's just get that down. Okay. Oh, come on. Oh, haven't used my Fabri-Tac for a couple of days, and just sometimes it's a bit temperamental, isn't it? I could do with putting my glasses on to be able to actually poke the stick pin in. I'm so sorry, I've got this irritating frog in my throat, so I do apologise if I seem like I'm keep clearing my throat. It's yeah, it is very annoying. Oh, what's going on with this? It does not want to come out. Okay, let's just hold that down with the scissors so it stops moving up and down. Come on. Ah, right, it's coming out a bit better now. It obviously had got sort of clogged up, and now it's cleared the clogged bit. So yeah, it's now working a bit more freely. So I'm just going to spread that slightly with my finger. Do you know, I nearly picked up then the wrong piece of lace. Oh, honestly. Right, and I'm just going to trim that off on this side. Okay, right, that's that piece, and I wonder if we could have another one of these ladies, actually. Let's just take this one. Again, I mean, it's looking quite bright, but by the time I ink it and make it look a bit more grungy, I think it might go quite nicely on here. Oops. Again, really awful cutting today. I don't know what's going on with my cutting skills, but they are just appalling today. Okay. Nearly cut the edge right off, to be honest. Oh well. Oh no, flip that way round, so it would have to go that way. That's okay, I can turn it round and have it that way. Doesn't matter, it's not, you know, not a problem. So let's rough this one up. Okie dokie. We'll just then ink around here. Okay. Oh, how gorgeous does that look? Just really looks pretty on there, doesn't it? Just going to ink this bit of lace, just in case I want to have kind of another piece of lace coming out to the side or at the bottom. Let's just see. Might have a bit coming out at the bottom. Okay. Now, would this work as a closure? Might do. Just see. Oh, sometimes it's really hard to just make a decision, isn't it? Well, I find it really hard to make a decision. Okay, let's just hot glue this on, this bit of lace, so it's committed to the page now. No mucking about. I can't keep on changing my mind with that, so that's good. I've actually attached something to the page at least. Honestly, I was thinking for a minute it was going to be just be endless amount of time without gluing something. Okay, right, let's pop this here. So yeah, I mean, if that's going to be a closure here. So again, what I like to do when I use things like this as closures is I kind of put it where I want it, and then I open the flap holding it in place, and then you know where you need to put your glue. So, you know, rather than trying to guess, you can then gauge exactly where that glue needs to go. So, you know, that's just how I find it easiest, and I'm not saying that's the, you know, the best way necessarily, but that's the way that I find the best way for me to do it. So there we go. I didn't used to do it like that, and so often then what would happen is my piece would be in the wrong place. So I think just by doing it like this, it just, you know, makes it slightly easier to avoid having to keep mucking about and, you know, finding actually you've glued it in the wrong place. I'm just going to ink this up and see whether this might look nice or not. It's quite orange on there, isn't it? Yeah, it is a bit too orange, and this is a bit too big, I think, so that's a shame. Let's just see if I've got a slightly smaller one. Got that one. Okay. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? Yeah, I really like that one. Now, do I have it on the closure or on the flap? If I have it on the flap, I'm thinking, is that going to compromise the flap at all? Don't think it does. Or I could have it on the closure, and that would maybe kind of strengthen the closure slightly. Perhaps we'll put it on the closure. Okay, like that. Yeah, I like how that looks. Now, do we want any more lace? Because now I'm just thinking all that lace that we put on the flap is all hidden. So we'd be like, you know, another run of lace. Just so as we've got some actually visible. If I put that on there, is that just going to be really strange? Oh, it's probably a bit strange, isn't it? Oh, I think we'll have to just go for it how it is, to be honest. Otherwise, I could be here all day just, you know, putting it on, taking it off, putting it on, taking it off. And I'm just going to see whether we want to have any bling in the middle of that butterfly. So okay. So I'm thinking just probably 2 again. Yeah, that looks pretty, doesn't it? You know, I mean, it doesn't necessarily need it, but having said that, it does just, you know, lift it slightly and give it a, you know, little bit of that extra something, doesn't it? But, you know, equally it was fine without. So, you know, if you haven't got bling and you're making things like this, that's fine. It's, you know, it's not essential. I just obviously can't resist using the bling. Okay. So that's that one. Looks pretty, doesn't it? Okay, right, next one. So should we do a couple of clusters now, just before we do this? Because otherwise, you know, we'll end up having to do all the clusters in one go, and that might be really boring. So yeah, should we do a couple of the clusters? Oh, that's quite nice on there. Right, let's just ink up this little slither of lace. Oops. Because I'm thinking maybe we could put this coming out behind here. like that. Okay, so I'm just going to put another glue stick in. Oh, have I got another glue stick in here? Honestly, I put loads of them in here the other day because I thought, oh, I'll have them ready to use. And already I've nearly run out. Okay. Oops. Sorry about that. Okay, right, I'm just using my hot glue for this just because, you know, it's so nice and quick, and, you know, I really don't have to then worry if it's glued down, you know, glued down or not. So I'm going to take that, put that on there. How pretty does that look? Okay. Like that. And do we want to have a butterfly or something on this one? Again, it's quite big. What about this one? It's not a bad colour for that, so let me just ink this up a bit. Okay, oops, sorry. I've got glue threads all hanging over me, so I do apologise if they're a bit distracting. They're distracting for me too. It's a bit annoying all round. That's quite nice, isn't it? Now I'm just wondering whether I might like to have another bit of either lace or maybe doily or book page or something like that, just to give it slightly more, you know, of a rounded kind of appearance. So let me just see what else I've got. Got some scraps here. I do hate those straight edges. I mean, yeah, weird, because I don't mind them on other, well, not don't mind them, I quite like them on other people's stuff, but when I do things, they just look really rubbish. You know, I feel like, yeah, they just look rubbish. Right, what do we think? Does that kind of add something or add nothing? Just tear that off. Okay, so I might just put that up there with the stapler. So let's just make sure I've got everything clamped. Staple that. And then let's just glue this down. So we'll just go to the back and, whoops, staple that down. Not staple, sorry, stick it down like that. Oh, how pretty does that look? And then, to be honest, again, what we could do is just add a little tiny bit of bling. Again, just kind of running down there. So, hold on. Just on that butterfly, not that piece. Sorry about that. Luckily, I just happened to notice that my, you know, phone was sat there saying, you know, no memory, and it had then stopped the video. So, but you didn't miss anything. All I was doing was rummaging around looking for bling, and luckily, like I say, noticed it at, you know, just the right time. Because sometimes, obviously, these things happen and you don't notice, and then, oh, before you know it, you've not been filming and you've been sat there rabbiting onto yourself, crafting away, only to find you've, you know, not filmed anything. So, yeah, luckily I saw the notification come up. So, isn't that gorgeous? Okay, let's put that to one side. Right, let's do another one. So, again, might just kind of try and take this down. You know, just because it's really good to use these little bits that are kind of floating around on the desk. So, yeah, let's just take this. See if I can marry this up with this maybe. Maybe even on top. I don't know what I'm going to put on here yet. So, yeah, I might change my mind. But, oh, that's awful. Awful, awful, awful. Right. What if I use one of these ladies? I'm thinking could I tear them down? Let's just do that. Just so it's smaller to be able to fit it on there. because, you know, my base piece is not that big, to be honest, so I need to tear it down, otherwise it will be as big as the base, and then of course that's not going to really work, is it? It's still pretty big. Yeah, it's still in danger of swamping the base. Okay. Oh, I had such a nice morning. I'd been to the gym first thing this morning when I first woke up, and the kids were all still in bed, and then, oops, sorry, just trying to get those glue threads off. And yeah, I bumped into my friend who I worked with, and I haven't seen her for ages. And you know what it's like when you kind of keep messaging someone and saying, oh, you know, we'll get together soon. And actually, I think it's on better on this one. We'll get together soon. And then, of course, you know, the time just goes by, and, you know, time slips by. You don't get time to kind of meet up. And yeah, I almost didn't recognise her. I'd gone like over to like the, you know, the weights section, would you believe? And yeah, I was kind of just bending down, you know, kind of picking up my weights. And I just glanced across at the woman who was kind of stood next to me, also, you know, doing some weights. And I just kind of thought, oh, you know, is that so-and-so, so-and-so? And yeah, I just hadn't seen her for such a long time. And of course, you know, she had her hair tied back and things, and, you know, shock horror, I had no makeup on. So, but yeah, it was really nice. So I had a catch up with her. She's doing fine. So that was really, really nice. Yeah, because I really miss her and the other lady who I worked with. You know, used to have such a you know, fun time with them both. And yeah, it's been a really long time because of course it's been lockdown, and on top of lockdown then, you know, well, obviously kind of my divorce and things like that, so I've just not really had time to even be messaging them, to be honest. But you know what it's like when then every time that you do bump into them, you say, oh, you know, we really, you know, we get together. So yeah, I felt really terrible, but it's just kind of, you know, and I'm sure they're really busy too. But life just gets away from you, doesn't it? But it was so nice to see her. So, you know, I'm sure I'll bump into her at the gym, you know, some other times as well. But did say, oh, you know, please let me know when you're free, because I would love to meet up, and, you know, it would be really nice. So yeah, hopefully she will. And, you know, can meet up with her and the other lady who I also worked with. So it would be so lovely to see them both. Honestly, I mean, I don't think I've actually met up with them at all since I left my job. I mean, well, obviously, because since leaving my job, I'd left there in the December. And of course, you know, we've had lockdown pretty much since the March, you know. It's kind of just been, yeah, just since the March, really. Well, I mean, obviously there have been times where it's not been locked down, but pretty much it's been sort of on, off, hasn't it? I'm not going to put bling on this. I'm just going to leave it as is, but it looks really pretty, doesn't it? Yeah, so it's just been kind of locked down, and, you know, yeah, just haven't really met up with them or anything. But yeah, it would be so nice to actually meet up and, you know, hear how everything is with them, and, you know, hear what's going on at work, hear any gossip and things. I mean, to be honest, there isn't very much gossip, you know. Gets like that, doesn't it? As you get older, there's very little to gossip about, but, you know, just be really nice to meet up with them. Definitely. So, and that will probably be my highlight of the day today, when we do our highlight at dinner. That will probably be my highlight, because it was just so nice to see them. Or see her, sorry. See her. So, yeah. I've been going to the gym now for, you know, a few weeks now. And, I mean, I'm filming ahead. So this, while I'm filming, is during the summer holidays. I don't know when the video will go up. But it may well be that the summer holidays have finished by the time the video goes up. But yeah, if, you know, if it's still the summer holidays, then yeah, what I've been trying to do is go to the gym pretty much every single day. Instead of doing my little workout at home that I, you know, normally do, I've been trying to go to the gym and actually do like a, you know, a proper workout using the, you know, the proper gym stuff. For the whole of the summer holidays, I thought I'm going to, you know, really make a big effort to do it for the whole of the summer holidays. And yeah, so far, I mean, obviously I haven't been every single day, of course, you know, I haven't, but I have been a lot of days. So yeah, really a lot of days. So I don't think I've really been at weekends particularly, but I have tried to do other days, lots and lots. So yeah, it's been quite fun. And it's quite nice now because, you know, I've obviously recognised a few people because I'm going at the same time every day, you know, pretty much first thing in the morning. As soon as I wake up, I quickly go before anyone's awake. And yeah, I've been doing that, and I just, you know, whereas previously it was kind of random times that I would go. But what's quite nice is obviously now, you know, I've started to recognise people, and so, you know, a few people say hi and things, so that's really nice too. You know, because I mean the gym's a little bit of a sort of strange place, isn't it? It can be slightly intimidating, I think. So it's quite nice now that, you know, I'm actually kind of recognising people and, you know, started saying hi and things like that. So yeah, you know, it makes you feel more comfortable about going, doesn't it? You know, if you well, I'm not saying I've made friends, obviously, but, you know, if you feel a little bit more familiar and kind of see a few friendly faces, it just makes you feel a bit more comfortable, doesn't it? So yeah, it's been nice. Right, just wondering whether I could have this sort of pinky lace. Just snip this off here. Okay. Okie dokie. Let's just pop this down with the wet glue, just because this is obviously book page, so, you know, I don't want to use anything too heavy. And I will just wet glue this down as well. Oops. Oh, now I'm having problems with this glue, honestly. It's going to be just one of those days, isn't it? Honestly, I mean, sometimes you just have those days where, and I say this all the time, they start out like one of those days. And, you know, it's no joke, is it, when you kind of say, oh, it's going to be one of those days. Because genuinely, there are some days that are honestly just one of those days. And this is going to be one of them, I think. So, yeah. Perhaps I'd best not do any more videos for today. Okay. I'm still trying to fill my head, you know. Just to take me through the summer holidays, really. So, you know. Okay. I'll put that little bow down there. Okie dokie. How cute does that look? Gorgeous. Gorgeous. I might even tear some of this down because maybe it's got a bit much kind of, you know, out to the side. There we go. And I'll just ink around there a bit. Yay. That looks pretty, doesn't it? Okay. Get that hot glue thread out. Right. We have one more cluster to make. Oh, two more clusters. Sorry, two more clusters to make. And then, I mean, to be honest, we'll probably have to then leave it now, which, oh. Well, I'm very nearly finished anyway, to be honest. I've nearly done all of the bits that I had. So let's just use this tiny bit of paper. It's a bit of a shame because this is not very texty, like I say, which, you know, obviously is not really the best because we're not then having a great deal of text showing, which of course is a bit weird. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but yeah, it probably would have been better with a bit more text showing. Let's just glue this down, just because you know, I'm aware that obviously this is now getting quite lengthy, so, and you know, it would be really good to be able to at least finish that one pocket, wouldn't it? The pocket that I've got. So let's just tear this page out. I've got a bit more of a texty piece here, so let's just take that. Okay, right, do I want that there or behind? I don't know yet, so I'll just see what I'm going to be putting on top of there, because that may sway me, you know, one way or another, which, you know, where or what way round it's going to go. So just see what I've got here that I might use. Oh, what have I got? Okay, I've got some book images. Oh, they're quite nice, aren't they? These might be going to be too big, but we'll see. That's quite nice, isn't it? So let's just tear it down so it's slightly smaller. I'm just going to ink around there. Hopefully make it stand out a bit. Oh, a bit more. That's it. Okay. Like that. Mop that up. What about this? That's a bit annoying because I really love this background, but yeah, I mean the man's not so nice. Well, he's not horrible, but he's not particularly the person or the thing that I would have necessarily wanted to put down. Oh, perhaps I'll leave that. Right, let's not use that, because to be honest, I mean there's no point just trying to use things up even if you don't like them, because you know, if you don't like them now, the chances are you're not going to like them at another time, are you, either? So you know, there's no point trying to force yourself to, you know, just for the sake of, oh, I must use this up. You know, you're better off kind of, you know, admitting that you don't really like that image and then not using it. So got this here of this piano. Again, that's a little bit too big. I'm just rummaging to see what I've got actually floating on my desk, because I thought rather than pull in something else, you know, yet another thing, it would just be really good to be able to just use something that's already here, wouldn't it? And, you know, it being my desk, of course, there is a ton of stuff here. It's just a case of finding it, because mainly it's buried in amongst other things. Well, she says, I mean, now I'm searching, of course I can't really find anything, which again, that's just always the way, isn't it? Got some of my moving book picture, moving picture book, sorry, not moving book picture, moving picture book. I haven't actually tried tearing this one down at all, so I'm not quite sure of the, you know, the mechanisms for this. Let's just go for this and see. So this is one of those Ernest Nister books that I showed in a recent haul video. They're so lovely, but they are all these moving pictures. I don't know whether all of his books are moving pictures, but all the ones that I bought certainly were. So, you know, they're slightly trickier to use than, you know, your ordinary pictures, because they've got, obviously, you know, they're split. Let's just tear this down so as we can get to the picture. Honestly, I'm just trashing this book, so I'm so sorry. But I'm trying to get to the pictures. Here we go. Right. Now, if I was really clever, I would be able to now, you know, make something similar to this mechanism myself. Of course, I'm not really that clever and probably will not be able to replicate these. Right. Okay. So what I'm going to do, this picture what they've done is they've kind of printed the picture on the two, you know, each half is to each picture, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is detach that, because this is then one complete picture like that. Okay, so I think what I'll do is to start with, I'm going to just sellotape this on the back. Now when I say sellotape, I'm using double-sided tape because that's just what I happen to have in my drawer. So I'm going to just take that, and then I will just put that onto this section here, and then try and line it up as best I can. Okay, like that. So as it takes on the form of a single picture now. And then I can obviously tear around there. Again, just because I like those torn, you know, torn edges. And then we'll tear down here and around. Okay, so now it's like a complete picture. Oh, it's too big for my cluster, would you believe? Right, I do have the rear side, which is just coffee dye. Maybe it would be better there. So let's try and tear this down a little bit more. Oh gosh, I'm heading towards no picture being left. Oh, right. There we go. Okay, so let's do it like that, I think. So I'm just going to quickly ink around here. Okay, then I'm going to take off this, because this is a shiny, you know, surface on this double-sided tape. And then what I can do is, let me just stick the book page down like that. Okay, and then take my image, and I'm going to hot glue the whole thing, because, you know, this is quite thick. It's kind of more like card really rather than paper. So let's just go for it and stick the whole thing down like that. Okay, like that. Okay, looking good. Right, so now I'm going to just ink around the whole thing. Just get rid of that corner because it was looking a bit like a square. Ink around the whole thing like that, and then we can get some lace, maybe a little butterfly or something. So let's just pull this in. I mean, again, this might not be quite the right lace, to be honest. I mean, it's obviously pink, but it might actually just, you know, be the splash of colour that we need. Just going to try it with some ivory lace, because yeah, it's all very well trying to just use the things that you've got to hand, but I mean, sometimes you have to just give in and go, well, that's not the right piece, you know, and then you just have to go with what is the right piece, which obviously this piece looks a lot better, doesn't it? So yeah, just again cut that down. Okay. Just go in like that and just pull that out a bit. There we go. Ah, how pretty does that look? Okay, right, and then this one might do that pink lace actually, because that looks quite pretty on there. So yeah, shall I just try inking that pink lace slightly and just see how that would look inked up? And I'm just going to ink around the edge of this as well. Oops. Oh, that's pretty, isn't it? So yeah, I think what I'll do, actually I think what I might do is just ink here on the lace itself, and then kind of try and gather the lace a little bit in one or two places. There we go, like that. Oops. There we go. Yay, looking good. Right, okay, so that's my last clusters done. As I say, I mean, I could always add a butterfly or a word or something like that to them, but for the moment, I'm going to call them done because I just want to get on with this pocket, if at all possible. So let's just ink this up. Okay. Now I'm thinking we could obviously have this cluster on here because this is the exact same paper. So of course it has a really nice kind of coordinating appearance to it, doesn't it? Just got this little tiny scrap of lace from earlier. So we could have that somewhere. Oops. Maybe there. Okay, right, let's just get these bits stuck down. So, oops. Like that. Just kind of have it hanging slightly down. Okay. And then just pop this one here like that. Now I'm just going to do a thumb hole. So, right, let's just see if I've got that roughly in the middle. Let's hope for the best. Okay, and if you saw my other video, what I've done is I've inked inside there in that centre bit so that obviously whatever's showing through is now an inked up piece. So just going to now ink around the thumb hole. There we go. And then we can just pop this one down like that. Again, I'm just going to use my wet glue. Sorry, not wet glue, my hot glue. Nice and quick. And then it's just done, isn't it? It's glued on there. I don't have to worry or wonder whether it's going to attach. It is attached. So yeah, it's all good. Right. Just going to see if I want to have a little butterfly on here. So again, just ink this one up. Maybe have it there. Quite nice, isn't it? Because otherwise it was looking quite pale, whereas this just adds a little bit of sort of colour to it. So it's not just, you know, really washed out looking. Not saying it was really washed out, but, you know, just so it's not washed out. Okay. And I think a bit of bling in that butterfly would be good. Again, just take the two. Oh, I feel like I've never been so covered in hot glue threads. It's a very thready day today. Very thready day. Right, let's just pick that hot glue off. And I've now made a bit of a mess on here. Okay. Right. Let's just see. Okay, so that looks pretty, doesn't it? I'll just see if I want to have any more bling. You know, whether we want to have any down here or anything. And it does look quite pretty down there, doesn't it? Let's just see. Oh yeah, let's just finish it off with that. Again, just because otherwise it has a bit of a sort of neutrally colourless look to it. So this bling, obviously with the black, you know, the black background, it just kind of, you know, adds a bit of colour. Adds a bit of colour to it. There we go. Okay. Just going to take that threaded thready bit off. Okay, so that is that pocket done. So the only piece that I haven't decorated actually is this, and to be honest, you know, we could just pull this together super quickly, really. I mean, just even with the addition of, you know, just a butterfly or something like that. So let's just really super quickly do that. And then, yeah, I mean, that just looks pretty just like that with nothing else, doesn't it? But I mean, of course, we could just add a little bit of lace at the top or something. Let's just see. Oh, not that lace. Yeah, again, so not that lace. Right, well, I'm not going to muck about because I could be here all day. Although, no. Could be here all day looking for the right lace. So I will just finish this off with the butterfly so that then, you know, I'm not wasting everybody's time while I'm looking for the right piece of lace. Okay. Right, let's have a look and see the pieces that we've done. So these, bearing in mind, these were all just the scraps that I had left over from a recent mass making video. And obviously I just wanted to use them to get them off of the desk, basically. Or, you know, not put them into my scraps bin. So as I didn't have more things mounting up and, you know, more unfinished projects, really, that would just result in. So what have we got? We've got double corner pockets here, so you've got a corner pocket there and a corner pocket there. We've got this lovely pocket here. We've got this lovely flip open there, like that, which actually I'm just now looked and thought, oh, that's not straight at all. Let's just trim that down. Okay, that's a bit better. So that one there, and we've got a couple of clusters, well, a few clusters actually, like that. And then we've got this gorgeous matchbox book, which, oh my goodness, have I now glued this in? Oh, no matter how I do this, I end up gluing this in. What is wrong with me? That was with that hot glue, which I know it seems like an age ago now, but I had tried so hard not to glue that onto this piece, you know, the bottom piece of paper, and still I did glue it. Oh, come on. Come on. What is wrong with me? Oh my goodness, come on. Come on, come on. Right, let's just ink that up. Okay, so then we have that matchbox book, which looks just lovely, doesn't it? So yeah, I think we've done quite well actually, just out of our scraps. And obviously in the previous video, we did also these pieces. So, I mean, you know, we've achieved quite a lot. We've got lots of bits that are now ready to go into another journal. So, yeah, pleased that I did that. And, yeah, hopefully it might have given you some inspiration or some ideas, hopefully, to, you know, to use up some of your scraps. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Thanks then. Bye.